In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the difference between a chronological CV and a functional CV. So welcome to the channel. My name is Jane Foray and I help frustrated professionals who are ready to take the next step up in their career. If you've just arrived here, then please don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Okay, so the question today is, what is the difference between a chronological CV and a functional CV? Very often I work with clients who need some help with their CV. What they're trying to do is position themselves in the best possible way in the job market. And the answer to their question is generally the use of a functional CV. But what on earth is a functional CV compared to a chronological one? Well, a chronological CV is what you would probably know as a traditional CV. It lists your skills and experience and achievements in reverse chronological order. So you start with your most frequent, with your latest job first, and then you work backwards for about the last 10 to 15 years, depending on your work history. Now that style works great in certain circumstances. So that style is useful when your career shows a sort of traditional growth and development throughout it. It's very useful when you're applying for roles that are very similar to the role that you are currently doing. So for example, when I left British Airways, I was head of talent. I was looking for other talent roles. The chronological CV was a great CV for me. The chronological CV is also useful if your latest employer is a very well-known brand. So for example, when I was working for British Airways, that was quite front and centre. If you've worked for one of the big four consultancy firms, you might also want to keep the chronological style. Maybe you've worked for other big hitters like Unilever or Google or Apple. The chronological style may well be the style for you. The other reason why a chronological CV might be the right CV for you is if you are applying for quite traditional kind of risk-averse workplaces. They want to see exactly what you're currently doing, what you did before that, what you did before that, and what you did before that. So if any of those four reasons are relevant to you, then continue to use the chronological CV. So what is a functional CV then? What's this functional CV that we hear you talking about, Jane? Well, it still lists all of your skills, experience and achievements, but it just positions them in a different way. So the format is great when you actually want to highlight your skills and your experience rather than who your latest employer is. It lists all your achievements in relation to a competence. A competence is quite an HR word for a catch-all topic. So it could be like project management, leadership skills, communication skills. So rather than listing your achievements by your employer, you list them via the competence. You can also include a work history, but what we're leading with a functional CV is your achievements, not necessarily your previous employers. So we list achievements first, and then you can do a work history summary, which just consists of organisation, job title and dates. So where should you use the functional CV? So the functional CV is great for you if you are looking to make a significant change in your career. So this could be, I used one when I was applying for my role at Leon Restaurants. So I was applying for the role of head of training. All of my training experience was starting to fall off the bottom of my CV. So if you were to look at it, you wouldn't necessarily associate my CV with someone that would be perfect for head of training. But I actually had all the skills and experience that they needed. So what I did was I just used the functional CV to list my achievements that were all focused on training, so I could put those front and center. So it's great for when your professional objective differs from your most recent experience. It's also brilliant if you want to focus on your achievements from many, many years ago rather than some of your most recent achievements. Maybe what you've had is a career that doesn't necessarily show a natural progression. Maybe you've taken some time out to have some caring responsibilities, or maybe you've taken some maternity leave, paternity leave. You've taken maybe a lower level job so you can focus on stuff outside of work, but now you're ready to come back to doing something that you were doing maybe 10 years ago. So a functional CV is perfect for you. Functional CV is also brilliant if you have been operating in a contractor type role for the last few years. So maybe what you've been doing is short-term projects that are essentially repeating the same thing. So rather than repeating the same achievements over and over again, you can use a functional CV. So what you can do is you can focus on your achievements using a competency. So what I've just described is what a chronological CV is, what a functional CV is, and which situation you should use either one of those. If you'd like to find out more, see some examples with some templates that you can use, then I have an ebook, How to Write Your Best Ever CV. I've left a link for it in the comments below. You can just click on that, download a copy. If you found this useful, then please do click on that like button, and please feel free to share this with anybody who you think would get some value from this. And please do subscribe for future episodes. My name is Jane Foray, career coach for frustrated professionals. I'll see you in the next video.